Hey everyone, it's Arnie from 5 United Blogs, Reviews, and more. Welcome back to another video. This is our music review series now called Jukebox. Thanks to a wonderful viewer who gave a wonderful suggestion. This is the Coldplay ranking series 2. This is episode 3. This is now we're at number 6. We have Ghost Stories from 2014. It's their sixth studio album, and coincidentally, it's the sixth album on this list. Don't worry, we're not going to go such sticking to order. It's gonna get mixed up a little bit soon. Okay, so this is the darkest point in lead singer Chris Martin's life because this album came out as a response or right after his divorce, just tragic divorce to his wife Gwyneth Paltrow after a 13-year-old long marriage, which is what makes it their most dark and most melancholy album. I mean, I have to agree that he had to be pretty sad. I mean, if you want to know how much he loved this woman, just go take a listen to Clocks or The Scientist or Talk. These are beautiful songs, and he really really loved her. So it's really sad to see this divorce and what came out of it. And it's also sad to see that the album that came as a response to this divorce is subpar. It's not up to the expectations. It's slightly better than A Handful of Dreams, but that's only slightly. And this came out after Milo's Iloto, which was again not their best album. So this is starting to seem like a decline in quality on the side of Coldplay, which is what I don't like. But there's still a few amazing songs on the album, but it lacks consistency. The album lacks consistency, and that can be a problem for an album from Coldplay at least. So let's get to the songs, and I'll try to explain why I think it's like this. Well, the first few songs I will have to say are pretty good, which is why it may seem that I'm out of my mind when I say it's inconsistent, but just bear with me. So first up, we have "Always in My Head." It has a really interesting instrumental, and it starts exploring the dark themes of this album, which I really appreciate. But but it has really sad and depressing lyrics, and it's too sad and too depressing for my taste. So I will have to give it just a 3. Next up, we have Magic. It's my second favorite song from the album. Its lyrics are simply touching and beautiful. I mean, it's like I really love the lyrics of this song. And it shows this slight sliver of optimism after the depressing previous song. I'll give it a 4.5 out of 5. Next up, we have Ink. It has a really interesting theme. The lyrics somehow make me sad, but it also makes me frightened for Chris. And it's really dark. It's one of the darkest songs, but there's a darker song coming up. Hint, hint. It has beautiful vocals and instrumentals, though, which is why I give it a 4 out of 5. Then we get to the first low point on the album, True Love. It tries this really different and experimental instrumental, but it has extremely strong vocals. But it tries too much to be dark and melancholy, which is really, the problem with most of this album, which I'll be addressing in later songs. Not much more to say about this song, so I'll give it a 2.5. Next, we have Midnight. It's my favorite song of the album. It has this beautiful instrumental intro and the synthesized vocals. Even though they're at a small quantity, they are simply amazing and they're dreamy, and I really, really, really like it. The instrumental is also simple yet mesmerizing. But I have to admit, initially I hated the album. Oh, I mean, the song. I hated the song. And the album, in fact. I did not like this album one bit, just disclaimer. But I've grown to like it. But yeah, same thing with this song. I've grown to like it, and it really made a mark on me because it became really relatable and comforting at a really low point in my life, which is why I became really relatable for me, and I took comfort to it. And I like to say that this is the highest point musically on the album, but the lowest point emotionally ever for Coldplay, for Chris Martin in the history of Coldplay. Then we go back to Mediocrity with Another's Arms at number 6. It's another desperate attempt to be extremely melancholy, and I don't know how to describe the vocals, so I decided to use the word crispy. But that's what it is. It's this crispy vocals which I really didn't like, so I give it a 2.5. Again, mediocrity. Again, we with seven number seven, Oceans. It has good instrumentals. It has mediocre vocals that keep going too high and start hurting my ears. And the lyrics are too cliche. And the song is really instrumenting with the kind of, okay, I'm sorry for subjecting you to that sound, but you know what I mean. It's just an irritating song. It's way too long. Well, that rhymed. I'll give it a two. Finally, we have a sky full of stars. I mean, not finally. There's one more song. We have a sky full of stars. It's my third favorite song of the album. It has beautiful instrumental, heavenly vocals, and some of the best lyrics I've heard from Coldplay. It's really sweet. You really get a sense of how much he loves Gwen in this song, and I really, really liked it. One of my favorite romance songs. If you really want to make your partner feel special, you can definitely make them listen to this song. All in all, it's a pretty good song. Give it a listen. And finally, the last song of the album, we have Oh. Again, it suffers from the same thing where it tries way too hard to be a dark song. I mean, it has stronger vocals, but it's still, slipping in some parts. The instrumental is way too basic. But one thing I feel is that it provides closure and gets you to this base point from where a head full of dreams can skyrocket off of. And I can appreciate that. I give it a 2.5 out of 5. Now let's get to the average score. It's 3.38888 and so on out of 5. And my score is 3.3 out of 5. Let's give it a playlist score. I have Magic, Ink, Midnight, and Sky Full of Stars on my playlist. That's 4 songs out of 9. That's 44.44%, which is just 1% less than Adventure of Lifetime, which on the playlist chart does make it below Adventure of Lifetime. Oh, I mean, A Handful of Dreams. Again, I feel this album tries too hard to be dark, but one thing I'd like to say is that Coldplay just gets better from here. So brace yourselves because the next 5 albums are absolutely killer. And I've been really critical of these 2 albums, but that's just because I expect so much from Coldplay, and that's what you're gonna get from the next few albums. Thank you so much, you guys, for watching. Listening. See you guys in the next video. Bye.